going to be tying his
peel and stick.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason I named it that is because it's made with the peel and stick foam, craft store foam with the it's got an adhesive back on it, which makes the tying process a lot easier. So I'm going to attach the thread. Now what I'm using for leg and tail material is embroidery floss. If you buy embroidery floss at the craft store, any brand, I don't care who makes it, as long as it has a sparkly quality to it, it'll hold up for legs and tails. If it's the flat type, it'll only do underbodies. You know, but this works really great for legs and tails. So I'm going to put that on, fold it back to lock it in. And it's easier to taper it that way than just to try to figure out the lengths. Now, I'm going to use sewing pins for the eyes and as a brace to support my foam when I pull it over. It kind of does two things. I'm going to cut them off. You hold the bottom when you cut them, you don't make everybody back up. You can tie them on separately, or after a while you get kind of used to doing them together. And you X them on the way you'd put dumbbell eyes on or bead chain or anything, where you're making X's around the hook. And then to lock that up, you go around the top of the hook. You don't want to touch where you cut the things off, because if you do, it cuts the thread every time. Never done it before. And I'm going to tie this off. Now, anytime you tie something onto a hook and you have a problem with it, a potential problem of it twisting, use super glue. If the base that you have tied to the hook is weak, all the rest of your fly is going to be weak too. You want to make sure that's nailed down. Now, the nice thing about the foam is, number one, it's very economical and readily available in many different colors. You want to cut it off so that your foam is about the width of the distance between your eyes. Then I'm going to fold it. Establish by length and cut both off at the same time. That's going to make it even top and bottom for the lengths. I'm going to put the folded area of the foam away from me and then just taper the back. Cut a little sliver off of one side, turn it over, and do the same on the other side so that it's tapered. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to stick them right through the center of the foam, like so. Now this is where the peel and stick foam is really nice. You peel it off, you stick it, the eyelet through, you put your foam under your hook, when you put this over, you want to put it so that they match. If you get them off and stick them, they don't move. You want to pull this back over. And you're together. Now, if it's going to come apart at all, it's going to come apart here at the narrow end. So what I do, I put a couple of wraps here. Tie it off. I reattach my thread here. Now I want 5 pieces. Take my little bundle, set the thread on my material on my finger, and then fold it around the thread. And then if you just pull it, it's in place. It's a neat little trick, makes it so easy to position things. Fold it, and right there. Now, I don't even knot this, I just make a couple of wraps. Alright, so after you get the legs done, you want to secure everything. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to put super glue on the legs because then the legs are going to get stiff. I want these, when they get wet, to be very movable in the water. Make the fly a little more lifelike. So I'm just going to put a little super glue on the thread, on the top and on the bottom. And stay away from the legs. And by the time you get the cap back on the bottle and so on, you can take this and just clip it. And you're done. You can trim these up a little bit, cut them to the length that you want, play with it. But to be honest, you really don't need to mess with it. My grandson comes to me before Christmas last year and he said, "Papa, make me a box of peeling sticks. They really catch the panfish," and they really do. It's a great little panfish fly.
Thanks, Fishy.
You're welcome.